All right. I initially wasn't gonna react to this guy. Gonna be honest. And I haven't really watched too much of anything about him, but I am more than well aware of how frustrated people are about Salvatore Ganacci being included in Fatal Fury. Where do I even go with this? Essentially, I'm just gonna react to his announcement trailer and his gameplay trailer. Because honestly, like I said, I haven't seen really anything. I just know he's in the game. So this is the first time I'm gonna be seeing this. We're gonna watch it together. We'll see. We'll see. So let's take a look. Let's take a look.
So what do you want to be when you grow up, kids?
I want to be a doctor when I grow up.
Poker masası olmak istiyorum.
I want to become a new manager.
Salvatore? Salvatore Ganacci?
I want to be in a video game.
That's enough.
Don't be afraid, little boy. You have released me from the dust. I will grant you a wish for whatever you want.
I wish that I could be
In Fatal Fury.
What?
What do you mean? That is impossible. Okay, I give you one more wish. And think about it very carefully.
How's that for a hit? I'm done yet. You hear that? Sounds like victory!
Sometimes dreams come true anyway.
Okay. Okay. All right. Not really what I expected. I don't know how I feel about him putting the gear on like that, but okay. That's something. Okay. Let's get to the next thing. Let's see what's going on. All right, so this is his move list, his initial move list. So what's going on here?
Here's a ticket to my show tonight. I hope you can make it.
You ready?
Okay.
Here we go! Here we go! Get up! Animation! Now shake! Piece of cake!
What? What is this guy?
Hard! Right here! Banger!
Okay.
Sounds like victory! How's that for a hit? Hear that? That's sweet music. Listen up! Get down! To my groove!
Okay, hold on.
Love is all you need.
Okay.
Fatal Fury. City of the Wolves.
Okay. Okay, let me reel it in together. I remember seeing on Twitter they had the thing with Duck King talking about a friend coming through and then he trained him. I'm assuming this is the guy, right? Yeah, I do think that he does take up a space that should be, technically speaking, Duck King's. So it is kind of frustrating to kind of see him here and not Duck King first. I think it would have been cool maybe if Duck King was first, maybe, and then he brought him along as a character, or even the guest DJ in the back, because if we look at this real quick, you know, they do have a DJ in the back. So I could see if this was maybe like, let's say Duck King stage and then Salvatore was the DJ in the back. I could see that being kind of cool, you know? But what it looks like is it's Salvatore and the old guy from his announcement trailer. It's here. So I don't know. I'm not like, how do I put this? I think he looks cool. Like I said, initially I wasn't really interested in him, and now that I'm seeing his kit, I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. It's a little wacky, a little goofy. There's some other things I'm gonna say about it. Like, he's funny. He feels like a joke character, but he might actually be really good. I'm not gonna lie, because it's kind of been a thing where they take the joke characters and make them pretty good as of most recent fighting games. Street Fighter V Dan, for example. But I have read a lot of fans and just players in general who are a little upset. So there are some things I do want to talk about that I think would help kind of get people to kind of understand what's going on here. First off, you have to remember Fatal Fury is still new in a lot of people's faces, right? Not very many people know about Fatal Fury to begin with. Me, I'm lucky. For those of you, new to my channel and don't know, you guys know me as the Guilty Gear guy. However, Fatal Fury was my first fighting game. Like, where I grew up, obviously there was both Street Fighter and Fatal Fury, but like where I grew up was kind of like there was a lot more people playing Fatal Fury than there was Street Fighter. Essentially, like, no one knows about this series like that. People know about Terry because of Smash Brothers. People know about Mai now because of her inclusion in Street Fighter, and people know about Rock because, for what it's worth, Maximilian loves Rock Howard, and mad people like Rock Howard too. So, then we'll also tack on Geese, right? So it's kind of like you have some figureheads within fighting games and content creation that really kind of push Fatal Fury, but it's only those characters. Most people barely know about Kim Kap-Hwan. People barely know about Hua Jai. Obviously, people know about Terry, Joe, Andy. I would say people know about Terry, Joe, Andy, Kim, Mai, and like a few others, but like in Geese, right? Geese Rock. But like when it comes down to it, most people don't even know where half these characters come from. They just see them in KOF and like, oh, they're all KOF characters. When KOF is kind of sort of a hodgepodge of a lot of, Fatal Fury characters, obviously. For example, the boss team that people, love in KOF 15, which is Billy Kane, Geese, and Yamazaki, that's all Fatal Fury. Most people don't even know Yamazaki's from Fatal Fury. They just see him in KOF and like, yo, Yamazaki from KOF, right? For example. But the point I'm trying to make here is because it's an old but new franchise, right? And Oda and the team from SNK have to do everything in their power to make sure that the outreach for the game is really high. So what that entails is like having to step into different genres and different areas of marketing and media to try to make Fatal Fury a cultural phenomenon again, because much like Street Fighter 2, Fatal Fury 2 was also a cultural phenomenon, low-key. It was the direct competitor to Street Fighter 2 at the time. And those two games ran the arcade, to be honest with you. With that being said, they kind of sort of have to do this. I understand the trepidation of like, I'm not gonna lie, I see him and I want Duck King immediately. Like, But I know people initially don't. The funny thing is, characters like Duck King don't really appeal to a lot of people. So they'd have to redesign him again to fit the motif and fit today's design standards to make him be the character that he needs to be appreciated by the current audience of fighting games. So I think right now what they're doing is with him and Ronaldo is they're trying to have a larger outreach than just the fighting game community. You know, you have to remember that there's still the one subculture of fighting game players that people don't talk about much, and I learned to acknowledge, especially after going to one of the most previous EVOs. Actually, the first EVO for Street Fighter 6 to be exact, is that probably even before then. But the point I'm trying to make here is there's the enthusiasts. People always talk about casual this and casual that. Well, no one talks about the enthusiasts, which is cosplayers, people who like DJs. You know what I mean? Cosplayers, artists, DJs, fan artists, fanfic writers, you know, fan comic creators. You know what I mean? There's this whole other subculture of fighting game like fans that don't get talked about. We just look at just the players and people who are just gonna buy the games. So I feel like Salvatore and Ronaldo touch two different areas. So Salvatore is the music side, right? So there's other DJs that are making music for the game and they have like a rollout for that. And he's just like the guy leading the headway for that. And he probably even helped SNK pick the DJs, you know what I mean? I believe he's the one that's leading the charge, if I recall right. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, please. But regardless, it's the fact that he's there to help promote that. So I understand where he takes up a slot, but I do think what this also does is the promotion of that. And additionally, it also gives Duck King a new friend. And what this does is this cements Fatal Fury into the music scene for EDM or house music, if you will, right? We have to keep that in mind. As a fan of Fatal Fury, I think it's cool to see that we have these things in the game. I know as fans we don't have to like it, but I do believe that it would be really cool to see an SNK like logo appear at like a DJ concert, or like this DJ concert is sponsored by SNK, or this new soccer event is sponsored by SNK, or the NBA has SNK or Fatal Fury logos all over the place. MMA, SNK, Fatal Fury. Boxing, SNK, Fatal Fury. You know what I mean? I think this is the step in the right direction that we need to take. And I understand that it may suck to lose characters that we enjoy for this, but I do believe we need more for our games. We just do. And I'm being sincere about this, you guys. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm being completely honest. We just need more for our games. And I feel like if this is the start of it, then I'm okay with it, because Fatal Fury needs to get in the face of a new audience. And it's turning into another pop culture phenomenon that it pulled in the 90s. They just got to do it again here. For the record, if you didn't already know, for those of you watching this, Fatal Fury 2 is the cultural phenomenon, and it has animations, it has, you know, multiple different versions of Fatal Fury 2, from Fatal Fury 2 to Fatal Fury Special, but not just those two iterations of the game, but it's on so many different platforms. You know, Super Nintendo, Genesis, you know, TurboGrafx 16, PC Engine, you know, PC versions, TurboGrafx 16. Like, it just goes so far back with the type of ports that the game had and different soundtrack. Like, and for what it's worth, Fatal Fury 2 probably has like the most remixed soundtrack of any Fatal Fury game. So like, they went all out. Manga, it's just, they went all out with the series. So I think this is just them trying to do the same thing again. They're trying to just recapture that. We just have to be mindful of it. I don't think for 1 second that you shouldn't speak out about it if you dislike it. However, for this current project, this is what their goal is, to move forward with this. I don't know, because I don't work for SNK, whether or not this will be featured in the next game. We also don't know the upsides to this, but in my opinion, to get more out of our fighting games, to get more players' eyes on it, to get games featured in places like Esports World Cup or the Olympics, for that matter. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. And if City of the Wolves is the start of if it's the start of the creation of a new era, not just for Fatal Fury but for fighting games as well, honestly, I'm willing to take it. This is a chance I'm willing to take, because this is still a risk, and the risk is, you know, being shown. But you have to remember, man, there's so much I can say here, but this is the last thing I'll say without going too long on this reaction, is that, again, there's a lot of people who do play fighting games, and we have to remember things like Twitter, just Twitter in general. Like, it's such a small sample size of, you know, the people who really enjoy these games. There's always going to be the hardcore, there's always going to be the casual, there's always going to be the enthusiast, but we have to remember that all facets need to be addressed. And I think the most important thing right now is outreach and making sure Fatal Fury is in the eyes of a lot of people to whatever capacity. It may hurt, and I might seem like I'm not for the community when I'm saying this, but you must understand, I also worked in marketing, so I also understand. I understand how this works. I've been at board meetings, and I know what it's like to try to like fight for the best case scenario for people to enjoy a product. So I'm not being cold-hearted about it. I just want to see where it goes. I want to see what this leads up to for Fatal Fury. So I'm still here for it, you guys. Don't worry. You know, I'm still here. I'm still here for you guys. I'm still here for the community. I'm still here for those fans. I'm here for everybody that really enjoys the series, you know. And for what it's worth, Duck King literally is one of my favorite characters from Fatal Fury. So of course, when I saw him and, you know, this guy here, Salvatore, I'm like, man, I see a lot of potential here, but I also can see how people can be upset. So I just like the idea that Duck King can possibly be used, you know, as a marketing product for Fatal Fury at any kind of music EDM concert. I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it. Because if that happens, we'll look back at this and our frustrations and see that Fatal Fury, right? Let's say City of the Wolves, or I don't know, Fatal Fury, you know, the Wolves are back edition or whatever. Yeah, the Wolves are back, you know, let's say it's part 2, right? Or part 3 at this point, because it's Garou 2 here. So let's say Garou 3 happens. We'll just sum it up as that. By the time Garou 3 comes out, the amount of like positive things that have come about with the collaborations with these, you know, real life figures would have pushed SNK into an even greater space. So, and I think that's what a lot of people want, is for SNK. Like, I'm telling you right now, I have been wanting to see SNK come out of the dirt for years. You know, my whole handle is Kensou. That is a SNK character. You know, like, I've wanted SNK to not be in the dirt, and I feel like if this is what it takes, then it's okay. I don't think it's that, like, I'm rambling here. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just, I'm very passionate about it, and I see him, and I see Salvatore, and I just see his kit, and I'm just like, it's not that bad. I just want what's best for the growth of both this game, the company, and the community that plays, and the future community that's to come. I can't stress it enough. I can't stress it enough. So if anything you guys get from this is like, I'm for whatever it takes to make Fatal Fury godlike. Because for what it's worth, even if you don't like Salvatore, right? The game is good. The game is good. The matchmaking issues got fixed in beta 2, amongst other things, and they just have room to just keep improving. But right now, this is pretty much go time. We have to push forward. So I'm hoping that there's more characters past Salvatore and Ronaldo. So I'm sure we'll get like Hokutomaru, maybe even like, you know, some of the other characters we're missing, like Freeman, whoever, like Jaehoon. I think those are 3 characters we're kind of missing right now. I wouldn't be surprised if they're on the way. It's just maybe they just got to get these guys out the way first, because I promise you guys, I think this would have hurt even more if this was DLC. I think people would be really upset knowing that they had to pay for these guys as opposed to them just being base roster. So I think it's better to just get it out the way now and then get ready for the characters that we want to see. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more guest characters, to be honest with you. Cross promotion is the best thing that happened to Fatal Fury, to be honest with you. I definitely think cross promotion is the best thing that could happen for this series. We already got Street Fighter characters in here. Let's see what's next. Who knows? Maybe it could be Tekken. I don't know. Maybe Tekken could be next. I mean, Geese was in Tekken. Maybe we can get Kazuya. Maybe we can get Jin. Maybe we get Reina. You know what I mean? And I think Reina will be pretty badass in this game, to be honest with you. So I say, why not? Bring on more. Let's get more people to play Fatal Fury. Let's give people more reasons to play this game. And that's all I care about. That's all I want to see moving forward. So I know it's a little long. Definitely more than a reaction. You guys got a whole spiel out of me. So if you're gonna be, let me end with this, right? If you're gonna be frustrated about, you know, Salvatore and, you know, Ronaldo, try to be not just understanding per se, but like when you state your opinions and say how you feel about these things, be mindful that it's still people that signed off on this. Don't sing the song about, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I've seen it all over the place, this Saudi stuff, Saudis this, Saudi that. Like, this is still SNK. Saudi is funding this. SNK is making this. Oda has already said he wanted people in like other like real life figures like Sylvester Stallone, Michael Jackson. I have the article right here. It's like, what did he say? The Expendables, Jackie Chan, Sylvester Stallone, Bruce Willis. He thinks that stuff is cool. So this wasn't just like, you know, I think we can dispel the whole, oh, the Saudis influenced this. No, this is what Oda wanted. Oda wanted this to be big, and he's doing what he thinks is necessary for it to be big. So when you state your opinions, please just try to use some common sense, be a little less rash. It's okay to be frustrated, it's okay to express how much you dislike it, but just have some sense, all right, when you talk about it. Try to be a little understanding. Either way, I'm gonna get up out of here. Catch you guys later. Talk to you the next one. Y'all know the vibes. Peace.